Jack Perry suffers an injury scare during his match in the Continental Classic with Kazuchika Okada last night on AEW Dynamite Winter is Coming. Plus, WWE reportedly are confused over the outrage regarding LA Knight's booking on WWE Monday Night Raw. Plus, we have an update as to how much longer Knight has on his WWE contract. All this and more in this news update. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Let's begin with Jack Perry possibly having a bit of an injury scare last night on AEW Dynamite. Winter is Coming during his match with Kazuchika Okada in the AEW Continental Classic. Now, if you recall, Perry actually entered the tournament as he was substituting for an injured wrestler himself, that being Darby Allin. Now, Perry suffered an injury scare during Wednesday night's Winter is Coming edition of AEW Dynamite on TBS and HBO Max. Perry had his first match in the Continental Classic and went one-on-one with Kazuchika Okada. But Jungle Jack was hurt midway through the match after connecting with a suicide dive. That's according to Brian Alvarez of the Wrestling Observer. He has reported that Perry legit hurt his ankle whilst performing the move during the match. Perry was able to continue with the match, ultimately losing to Okada, and he is now looking to be fine, according to Alvarez. As I mentioned, it's kind of ironic that Perry suffered this injury scare as he entered the tournament as a replacement in the AEW Continental Classic, having been added to the tournament due to Darby Allin's removal after he was hospitalized following his opening match with Kevin Knight. Perry is on 0 points in the Continental Classic due to being the replacement for Darby Allin. Jungle Jack had been utilized as a tag team wrestler since his AEW return earlier this year, having reunited with Luchasaurus to reform Jurassic Express. Express then feuded with the Young Bucks through to Full Gear, but the tag teams resolved their issues after Matthew and Nicholas Jackson saved Kenny Omega from a Don Callis family beatdown. Now, a bit of an update here on LA Knight. There was some confusion on LA Knight and his WWE status after he was seemingly written off WWE television Monday night on Raw. And when it comes to contractually, he's not going anywhere. As I mentioned, on the December 8th episode of WWE Raw, LA Knight was defeated by Logan Paul and effectively beaten up by all 4 members of the Vision. Then, after the match, he was attacked backstage to close the show. Fans, according to Fightful Select, were asking for an update on Knight, everything from him being written off TV to him actually leaving WWE. Now, Fightful Select have confirmed that LA Knight is not leaving WWE. He, in fact, re-signed the company in 2024 and has years left on his deal. Fightful say when they reached out to people in the company, they were confused as the outrage of the situation and said it was a standard story beat that will be revisited. There were also what is being described as unusual conspiracy theories regarding LA Knight, holding up a "We want LA Knight, not Jey Uso" sign over a month ago and being punished for that. It was repeatedly claimed to Fightful that wasn't the case, with one source in creative saying that being booked to beat Jey Uso would be a, quote, weird punishment. Now, Fightful say they're looking to find out what LA Knight's immediate future is regarding that angle on Raw. Of course, if we get any details on that, we'll let you know in a future video. Samoa Joe is still the AEW World Champion after submitting Eddie Kingston last night at AEW Dynamite Winter is Coming. Closing out last night's show of AEW Dynamite Winter is Coming was an AEW World Championship match between Eddie Kingston and Samoa Joe. The Ops Hook was ejected from ringside to prevent him from assisting the AEW World Champion. Hook's involvement in the steel cage match at AEW Full Gear led to Joe becoming a 2-time AEW World Championship holder. The conclusion of the Joe vs. Kingston bout saw Joe trap his opponent in the Coquina Clutch and Kingston submitted. Of course, this was Joe's first defense of his second reign as the AEW World Champion. Now, when it pertains to Eddie Kingston and his AEW future, he's going to be around for quite some time. Now, in the build to this match on Wednesday, Joe noted how Kingston can't cross the finish line or win the big one, promising to keep Kingston away from his championship goal by choking him out. Speaking to Gabby Lespiza on Gabby AF, in the middle of previewing the match with Joe, Kingston revealed that he has 6 years left on his AEW contract. He said, quote, "I'm not supposed to win. I don't give an F. He's not going to kill me. I'm going going to wake up the next day and move forward. Guess what? I have 6 years left on my contract, and I want to make my money and then buy a place in Alaska and get the F away from society. Get me the F to Alaska. As long as I can watch the Yankees, Giants, Knicks, and Rangers, I'm good. Leave me alone. Kingston noted that he wants the title because it means more money and getting the chance to pick who he wants to fight. Of course, Kingston signed with AEW in 2020 after answering Cody Rhodes' open challenge for the AEW TNT Championship. So 6 more years, at the very least, of Eddie Kingston in All Elite Wrestling. The Babes of Wrath made history last night, becoming the inaugural AEW Women's World Tag Team Champions. They made history defeating the Timeless Love Bombs in the finals of the 8-team tournament. The finish of the match last night, which opened the show, saw Harley Cameron hit her finishing move on Mina Shirakawa. Willow followed up with the Babe with the bomb to score the pinfall victory. After the match, Willow said that Harley has stuck by her side, and Harley noted that her second match ever was against Willow, and now they are AEW Women's Tag Team Champions. Willow, Harley, Mina, and Timeless Toni Storm all embrace following the interview. The Timeless Love Bombs made the finals with victories over Alex Windsor and Riho, and Marina Shafir and Megan Bayne in a hardcore holiday death match. The Babes of Wrath advanced with victories over Athena and Mercedes Moné, and the Sisters of Sin, of course, being Julia Hart and Sky Blue of the Triangle of Madness. Now, once they were rivals, now they are tag team partners, maybe just for one night only. But for the first time, Swerve Strickland and Hangman Adam Page teamed up on AEW Dynamite Winter is Coming. The former AEW World Champions banded together last night on TBS and HBO Max. They faced 2/3 of the AEW World Trios Champions, the Ops in Katsuyori Shibata and Powerhouse Hobbs, in a Tornado tag team match. Their bout began in the venue's concourse area as they brawled all over the arena. In the end, it was Hangman and Strickland picking up the victory, with Swerve pinning Shibata. Swerve Strickland is set for in-ring action on AEW Collision Winter is Coming against the Don Callis family's Josh Alexander. Now, speaking of the Don Callis family, of course, they're all over the AEW Continental Classic, and we have results and recap from Night 5 of AEW's annual tournament, which, of course, took place on the December 10th episode of AEW Dynamite Winter is Coming. In the Gold League, Kazuchika Okada picked up his second victory of the tournament, defeating Jack Perry. Perry, who replaced an injured Darby Allin in the tournament, falls to 0-2. Okada moves to 2-1, giving him 6 points in the tournament thus far. Okada picked up the victory with the Rainmaker. Also in the Gold League, Kyle Fletcher suffered his first loss of the tournament, losing to Speedball Mike Bailey. Fletcher is still at the top of the league with 6 points, holding the tiebreaker over Okada, while Bailey got his first victory to move to 1-1. Bailey got the victory with a wristlock sunset flip, tying up Fletcher so he could not kick out after a series of reversals and high-impact moves that couldn't keep either man down. Certainly a bit of an upset, as many expected the Proto Star to come out victorious in that one. Now, big matches have been confirmed for AEW's Holiday Bash. All Elite Wrestling, if you recall, is heading to the United Kingdom, and the 3-hour Holiday Bash special on December 17th is a part of that tour. Manchester, England will be the site of the Holiday Bash, and 3 matches are now locked in for the show. It was already locked in that the Dynamite Diamond Ring Battle Royale would be taking place at Holiday Bash. Joining the lineup is the Elite, that being Kenny Omega, Matt and Nick Jackson of the Young Bucks, taking on the Don Callis family's Konosuke Takeshita, Kazuchika Okada, and Hechi Sero. $1 million will be up for grabs. The money was originally for the Young Bucks, but Don Callis took it back when they did not join the Don Callis family. Also on the bill for Holiday Bash is FTR defending the AEW World Tag Team Championships against the Bang Bang Gang's Austin Gunn and Juice Robinson. Now, the Continental Classic will be continuing on AEW Collision Winter is Coming. All Elite Wrestling is in the middle of its 2025 Continental Classic tournament, and the tournament will continue at AEW Collision Winter is Coming in Cardiff, Wales on December 13th. It was announced that CMLL World Heavyweight Champion Claudio Castagnoli will clash with IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Konosuke Takeshita in the Blue League. As of this recording, Takeshita and Claudio are tied for first place in the Blue League with 6 points apiece. More matches, as mentioned, that are set for this weekend include the aforementioned Alexander versus Strickland match, Jamie Hayter and Chris Statlander versus Sky Blue and Julia Hart, and the TNT Championship will also be on the line this weekend as Mark Briscoe defends his title against Daniel Garcia of the Death Riders. Now, we're just a couple of days away from John Cena's retirement match, the final time we're ever going to see John Cena compete inside of a WWE ring, but he will not be main eventing the show. Cena will retire from professional wrestling at the December 13th edition of Saturday Night's Main Event, where he goes one-on-one with Gunther, with the former World Heavyweight Champion having earned the opportunity after winning the Last Time Is Now tournament. Surprisingly, Cena versus Gunther will not close out Saturday Night's Main Event, and Brian Alvarez of the Wrestling Observer has reported they will actually open the show. Unlike Goldberg's retirement earlier this year at Saturday Night's Main Events, Cena won't be restricted for time, as there's no set run time for Saturday Night's Main Event, likely due to the show now solely airing on Peacock. Quote, "At this point, there is no set run time for Saturday Night's Main Events, so everyone will get the time they need. Cena vs. Gunther is currently scheduled to open the show, and Cena will get as much time as he wants," Alvarez wrote on X. Other matches scheduled for this Saturday include Cody Rhodes versus NXT champion Obafemi, of course Rhodes being the undisputed WWE champion, Bayley versus Sol Ruka, and AJ Styles and Dragon Lee, the World Tag Team champions from Raw, facing off against NXT's Javon Evans and TNA's X Division champion Leon Slater. Of course, a reminder, we will be live with a watch-along and a post-show this Saturday, so be sure to join us when we're live on the channel. Speaking of Saturday Night's Main Event, Jesse Ventura will be back on the show. Jesse the Body Ventura will be back on WWE Saturday Night's Main Event this week, with WrestleVotes reporting that the WWE Hall of Famer is planned for the show from Washington, D.C. WrestleVotes tweeted, quote, "After not appearing at the last Saturday Night's Main Event, Jesse the Body Ventura is set for Washington, D.C. this weekend as the big John Cena send-off show approaches," WrestleVotes wrote on social media. Jesse Ventura has been a regular presence on Saturday Night's Main Event since the revival of the show last December, but his usage had been reduced after he was critical of Damian Priest escaping through the door to win a steel cage match against Drew McIntyre back in May, and the former governor of Minnesota was completely absent from the November 1st episode of the show. How WWE plan to use Ventura on December 13th is currently unknown, but he has so far been utilized as a co-host of Saturday Night's Main Event alongside Joe Tessitore, while also providing commentary for one match. It had been previously reported that Stephanie McMahon would be co-hosting the show alongside Tess, so we'll have to wait and see if Ventura is a part of that or solely just behind the mic for Cena's match. Stephen Borden, the son of Sting, made his AEW in-ring debut last night, but if you didn't see it during the broadcast, that was because it was before the show went on the air on TBS. Only 2 months after his first ever pro wrestling match, Stephen Borden made his All Elite Wrestling debut on Wednesday night. Ahead of the Winter is Coming edition of Dynamite in Atlanta, Georgia, Sting's son faced Kieran Gray in a dark match and ultimately came away with the victory. If Borden has been signed to a contract by AEW is currently unknown. Stephen Borden has been trained to wrestle by Darby Allin, and Kieran Gray is a fellow trainee of Darby's. Borden recently faced Gray in just his second match at Defy Aeon on Friday, November 21st in Seattle. Borden earlier made his in-ring debut at an art show in New York City. He teamed with JD Drake in a loss to Darby Allin and Killer Cross. Stephen Borden previously had no interest in becoming a professional wrestler, but he caught the wrestling bug after portraying Wolfpack Sting in his father's retirement match at AEW Revolution 2024, which saw Sting and Darby Allin defeat the Young Bucks and retain the AEW World Tag Team Championship in the process. Borden showed his commitment to becoming a professional wrestler by living in a tent in Darby Allin's garden whilst he was training. Switching over to CM Al-Ao and Mystico is set for a big match coming up on December 12th. Mystico will defend the CM Al-Ao World Light Heavyweight title against Sobrano Jr. at the December 12th CM Al-Ao event. This will be Mystico's second title defense. The lineup for Friday's event, which takes place in Arena Mexico, also features a Grand Alternativa Battle Royal along with the quarterfinal and semi-final matches. Now, speaking of Mexican promotions, AAA, of course, now under the WWE/TKO umbrella, they've got a big TV deal, which will debut in January next year. Lucha Libre AAA will debut on Fox Mexico on January 17th. The promotion will hold a live show from Mexico City on that date. The advertising features Rey Mysterio, Mr. Iguana, Dominic Mysterio, El Grande Americano, Vikingo, Penta, Rey Fénix, Dragon Lee, and more. Of course, AAA was announced for this new deal. Previously, of course, it's not as big as CM Al-Ao's deal, but certainly a big deal for AAA nevertheless. Tonight is another episode of Ring of Honor television. Several segments and matches have been confirmed for the show. The night will be headlined by Athena celebrating her 3-year reign as Ring of Honor Women's World Champion. Plus, new Ring of Honor Women's Pure Champion Deonna Purrazzo will be in action. Zeta Steele will face Rachel Ellering. Jay Lethal will compete, and more. And finally, Jinder Mahal, a former WWE champion, is now in conflict with WWE over a trademark. Raj Desi, who previously wrestled in WWE as Jinder Mahal, has begun a dispute with WWE over trademarks. Jinder Mahal filed to trademark the Maharaja with the United States Patent and Trademark Office in April 2024, but his application was rejected on November 15th, 2024, due to the likelihood of confusion with WWE's trademark of the Maharaja. It's just a different spelling when it comes to this. The WWE trademark has a H, whereas Jinder's one doesn't have a H. Now, this trademark of the Maharaja with the H for WWE has been active since 2017. The USPTO then rejected Desi's application again on June 4th, 2025. Desi is still looking to gain ownership of the Maharaja without the H term. However, as he filed a petition for cancellation against WWE's trademark of the Maharaja with the H on December 4th, 2025. Within the filing, Desi has argued that he began using the Maharaja without the H within pro wrestling in early 2015, while WWE didn't file to trademark the Maharaja with the H until April 2017. He has also claimed WWE filed their trademark under false pretenses. WWE have until February 3rd, 2026 to respond to Desi's petition for cancellation. Mahal first wrestled for WWE from 2010 until his release in 2014. He then performed on the independent wrestling scene until WWE re-signed him in July 2016, and he remained with the organization until his second release in April 2024. During his second run, Mahal had a 170-day reign as WWE Champion in 2017 and an 8-day reign as United States Champion in 2018. Despite the trademark dispute, the former Jinder Mahal has performed as the Maharaja without the H. Raj Desi while working on the indies since his second WWE release. But there you go, guys. The latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.